Hey everybody, it's Joe with Joe Knows Cryptos, back with another daily video update. So, yesterday I gave a couple of picks. One was Litecoin. It was in the 90s. I think it's up around 91. Not too big of a move, but in the positive direction at least. That's right. I think we're going to see bigger moves as it gets closer to the halvening. I like to get in a little bit early because sometimes there's a nice pop. People that are kind of waiting for the halvening to happen anticipate, they don't want to get in too early in case they have their money invested in other things, so they'll maybe get in like a month or two before. Well, we're about 3 months early. That's fine. Like I said, I like to be in a little bit early. That way we get it at the lowest possible price. So if it does have a nice run up over to 120, 130, something like that, or higher, depending on how the crypto market goes, of course. Everything depends on that. If the volume stays low and the market cap stays low, well, chance of a big run up like that are really not going to be possible. But I do think that is one that I'm personally have purchased recently. Again, none of this is going to be financial advice. I'm just going to let you know what I do, just some rantings. And let's see, the other one we talked about yesterday was SRS, which was a real estate short, and it's up 44 cents today, about 2.38%. Not a bad gain for one day. Now, I do think this one's going to fluctuate a little bit back and forth, but I think overall we're going to go up. So this is one that I said we might look at trading in and out of a little bit. If it has big moves up, then we might take a little bit off the table, or I might, take a little bit off the table, wait for it to come down and then jump back in. But overall, like Litecoin, I think the direction for the next foreseeable future is in a positive direction. Right now, the ultimate goal is, trying to make money somewhere, because you're not making any money in your bank account, you're not making any interest on gold or silver, and they're kind of flat. If anything, they're going down because the dollar is still strong, even though everyone says it's getting weak. I believe it's gonna get weaker as all these countries start to use other forms of currency to buy oil and goods and things like that. It is just a matter of time. But currently, with the Fed raising the inflation rate, the interest rates, they're actually making the dollar strong. So let me go to the US dollar index, and let's see where the dollar is at today. Now, when the dollar goes up, gold, silver, crypto usually goes down, and when the dollar goes down in value, usually the opposite happens. So actually the dollar is up to 103.57 cents. So it's up 0.37. It's up 37 cents, up 0.36 on the day. So that's a pretty good move up. Recent history, the dollar has been as high, just so we know how high the dollar could potentially go. We're looking at a top around 114, and that was on 9/27 of 22. So that still has a $11 or $10.50. It can go up. Not saying it's going to do that, but as far as investing in gold and silver right now, I want to see some weakening in the dollar. Cryptocurrencies as well. However, I do think cryptocurrencies are a little different than gold and silver. Gold and silvers are traditionally more of just a safe haven against inflation, where they're trying to bring inflation down, and that's going to actually hurt gold and silver. Are not going to be strong until the dollar starts getting weaker, in my opinion. Cryptocurrencies, like, I think, are a little bit different. People invest in those a little bit more like the stock market. And the cryptocurrencies also have been known to have runs where they go up, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100%. in a matter of a month. Gold, silver, they don't do that. So that's why they're a little bit different. So things, now as far as the housing market goes, we have two conflicting things going on here that may cause this SRS stock to bounce up and down a little bit. One is Rocket Mortgage has now introduced a 1% down home buying loan. And that's back what happened in 2007 and 8 when the housing market crashed. They were giving cheap loans to people who weren't qualified, who couldn't afford them, and eventually all the houses just crashed, and the banks took a lot of the houses. And I predict that's what they want to have happen this time, however on a more massive scale. Remember, they said that we'll own nothing, we'll own no homes. So this is part of the way that they're going to get the homes. So I think that is one of the ways it's going to happen. So I personally would not be a home buyer right now. If you are and you got your dream house out there, all I can say is there's always another home, you know, and you might get it for a lot less down the road here, and maybe not too long. So what does this show me when Rocket Loans does a 1% down? That means that they're hurting for business. It's like a sale. It's like an incentive to get buyers in to start, you know, doing financing and mortgages through Rocket Loans, right? They're trying to entice people to come in, buy that house, only 1% down. It's 3%, but we'll take care of the 2. After that, the next step is they're doing this because they don't want to. It's either this or lay people off. If they lay people off, that's going to show weakness in housing, and that's going to cause panic, and that's going to cause the stock market to tank. Because I've said it in videos in the past, real estate is the catalyst for the economy, because it affects, I think every real estate sale has about 30, give or take, people involved in it, between your builders, your lenders, your mortgage insurance, your mortgage broker, your realtor on the buying side, on the selling side, your home inspector, your appraiser, your surveyor, inspector. If there's anything wrong with the house that needs to be done, you got your handyman that has to come in and fix things up. When people move in, more than likely they're going to buy some new either furniture or appliances. You got the people who work at the state who have to file your title on the record. So you know, there's a lot of people who rely on real estate sales for jobs, and once that goes, they're not going to need those people. They're going to start laying people off in all areas, and that's going to be where the recession / depression that many are talking about is going to, you know, kick into full swing, in my opinion. So buying a home right now, I personally am not doing it. I think down the road, when we see things go down and hit a bottom, people are desperate to sell. When they start to lower interest rates, I believe that in that time, when they start doing a few cuts before the prices start going up, is a good time to buy in. Even though the interest rates may be higher and you anticipate them coming down, as the interest rates go down, the sales of the homes are going to start to increase. It may take a little bit of time, but if you've got your eye on a real prime property, you know, maybe something that you've always wanted on a lake, or, you know, 4 or 5 bedrooms, whatever you want, those good ones are going to get snagged first. As always in real estate, the best ones always go first. So when the rates start to go down, if you are looking for real estate, me personally, this is what I'm going to do. That's when I'm going to start buying. And the reason why I think that's good timing is because the prices are out there low, even though the interest rates are high. As the interest rates drop, you could either do an adjustable rate loan and take advantage every time that interest rate drops, your adjustable rate will drop. And then you can lock in or you can wait till the rates drop and just refinance and lock in, at a longer term loan and have a lower interest rate. So that's how I'm going to play the game right now. Stock market, I would not be in the stock market personally. I'm not. The only thing I'm going to be doing in the stock market is shorting, and I'm going to be looking for when the dollar starts to change from going up to depreciating in value. I'm going to start looking at some silver stocks and some cryptocurrencies, but again, we'll get into that when the time is right. Let's see, a pick for today. Let's see, my only pick for today, believe it or not, is going to be a sports bet. And again, this is just for fun, but hey, any way you can make money, you make money. And I have a very strong feeling, because I've watched sports all my life. I've laid quite a few bets in my life. I've seen this pattern in basketball where they have to play in a playoff series. They play the best of 7 games. That's whoever wins 4 games first wins the best of 7 and advances on to the next level. Well, we've got a #1 team in the Boston Celtics playing a lower ranked team, the Miami Heat. And the Miami Heat have been crushing the Celtics. They beat them 3 games in a row. In the last game, which was in Miami, they totally demolished the Celtics. The next game is also going to be in Miami. Most people in their brains are thinking this is over, but I'm going to tell you why it's not all that it seems. So what happens in these best of 7 series when there's a favorite like the Celtics, who are expected to win the whole thing? I'm trying to pull it up here. When they're expected to win the whole thing, what a lot of people will do, instead of messing with betting, they'll bet on the games, but they'll bet on who's going to win that series, who's going to win the 4 games first. And most of the money, I'm going to say 90% of the money, goes on the favorite. It goes on the Boston Celtics, right? So, it's tricky how this works out. But let's say you think the Celtics are going to win this series. There's no doubt in your mind. You put whatever, $500, $1,000, whatever, a big chunk of money, on the Celtics. First game goes by, you might even bet on the Celtics in the first game, because they're playing at home. They lose. Okay, well, now we got to win a game in Miami. Second game, they lose. Now you're starting to get nervous. You're starting to think about, if they lose this series, I'm going to lose my $1,000. I'm just not even going to bet on this game. I'm just going to let that series bet be my bet and watch this closely and see what happens. Third time comes around, they lose again. Now you've got to bet on the Heat to cover your losses, because if Boston loses one more game, you lose your $1,000. So now if you bet on the Heat and the Heat win, even though you lose your $1,000, well, you've won this other side bet on the game instead of on the series. And I've seen this play out many times in NBA playoffs, where the favorite will lose 2 or 3 right off the bat, and then they'll come back and they'll even go to 7 games and win the whole thing. Doesn't happen that often where they win the whole thing, but I feel very strongly that the Boston Celtics are going to win this game tonight. That's my pick for today. I mean, I have a pick every day, but hey, let's keep it fun. Let's keep it lively. Summertime is here. Let's not stress. I was getting stressed before about this whole thing, this whole World Economic Forum, and I made those videos and all, but the way we can beat them is to get on top of them and make some money. So let's make some money, y'all. Guys, God bless y'all. I have a renewed faith in God above. Thank you, God, for everything you've given me. And let's hug our kids, pet our pets, kiss our spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends. Joe Knows Cryptos signing off.